What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to give you a few tips on how to travel Iceland on a budget. Now, Iceland is by no means a cheap country to travel, so I would make sure you have some money saved up before you go. But there are a few things that knowing before you go could save you a lot of money, so let's get into them. Tip number one, airfare is going to be expensive. I don't think they have any of the budget airlines flying there anymore. So basically traveling in off season is going to be key. If you go during summer, it's going to be full of tourists. It's going to be really expensive. Winter is amazing in Iceland. I went right after Christmas time and during New Year's, and I'll leave a link to that video somewhere around here. And it was amazing. You know, I mean, just the snow everywhere. I would definitely recommend getting a four-wheel drive car. I know it costs a little bit more, but trust me, when you're on those icy roads, it's not called Iceland for no reason, okay? So you're gonna want that four-wheel drive car. Also, if you go during Christmas, same thing with that off season. If you go during Christmas, the thing to know about Iceland is that everything, and I mean everything except for like maybe their version of 7-Eleven, is closed for 3 days before and after Christmas. So I think we landed on Christmas and everything was closed for 3 days. So we ended up having to go and get, you know, whatever 7-Eleven food we could get. So just so you know, for 3 days prior and after Christmas, everything's closed. But if you do stay for New Year's, it's amazing. And if you watch that video, you'll see just how many people they pack down into that main strip in Reykjavik, and it's really incredible. And they're shooting fireworks off for days before the actual event. All right, tip number two for traveling Iceland on a budget: hit the duty free when you land. If you're gonna drink alcohol, don't wait until you get out there. Don't go to see what they got at the stores, because alcohol is insanely expensive there. If you go out to eat, or if you go to a bar, a beer is gonna set you back like $10. And even the cans in the state-run liquor stores are gonna set you back $5 each for a can of beer. So don't think you're getting cheap alcohol there. Buy it in the duty-free. As far as I understand, alcohol is taxed on percentage. So a bottle of Jack Daniels that's gonna cost you, you know, 20, 30 bucks here is gonna set you back like 80 bucks there. So just be prepared for that. Do what the locals do. Load up on all your alcohol that you think you might want to drink on the trip right when you get there at the duty free, and save yourself a ton of money. Moving on to tip number three, ditch hotels. Don't stay at the hotels. I mean, we stayed at the Reykjavik Hilton, which is super nice. But the thing is you're going to want to stay at Airbnbs. You're going to want to stay at hostels. You're going to want to stay somewhere with a kitchen. And I can't emphasize this enough, because going out to eat in Reykjavik or anywhere in Iceland is crazy expensive. We're talking maybe $20 to $50 a person for a plate. And again, with those drinks, the drinks are going to cost you $10, you know, if you want to buy a beer or something like that. So stay in a place with a kitchen. Go to the local supermarket. You'll get to see all the cool food that they got there. Buy your food, take it home and cook. Make yourself some sandwiches when you're out hiking or doing whatever you're doing. But definitely going to want to stay somewhere with a kitchen. That's going to save you a ton of money. All right, the next one comes with a little bit of a caveat. The tours there, they have tons of tours going on volcanoes and glaciers and stuff. We set one up that ended up getting canceled due to weather. I would say just ditch the tours, and the nature's free. You know, they have such amazing nature there that I would highly recommend, especially if it's your first time there. There's tons to see. You're not gonna need a tour to make sure you see all the major stuff. Looking on the internet for 10 to 15 minutes, you can find enough stuff in the Golden Circle, you know, and then in the surrounding areas. But what I would say is that if you do want to go glacier hiking, you do want to go check out the volcanoes, then I would say it's going to be worth your safety just to hire a tour guide, because the weather there is really unpredictable. You know, you're looking at like gale force winds that come out of nowhere, rain, snowstorms that come out of nowhere. And then, you know, hiking up glaciers is super sketchy if you don't know what you're doing. So definitely make sure that, you know, you hire a guide if you're going somewhere that might be dangerous, but otherwise just ditch it. There's tons and tons of nature to find out there for free. All right, and this last tip is just kind of a modge podge of different little things that I thought of that I thought would be really important. One, if you're going during winter or if you're going during a time when there's going to be ice and snow, buy yourself a cheap pair of crampons before you go. You can find them for 20 to 30 bucks on Amazon, and trust me, they are worth it. Iceland, not surprisingly, covered in ice. So there will be times where you will find paths that you can't go down or not safely that crampons would be useful for. And there were plenty of times when I nearly fell just because it was so icy, and I wish I would have had crampons. So buy a cheap pair of crampons. Another thing, again, with the cold is bring layers. You're going to want to layer up your clothes. And it's not just for the cold, but also it gets really windy. So you're definitely going to want to prepare for the wind and the cold. I would also recommend, a lot of people go there just for the Golden Circle. Get out of that area. Go see the entire island. There's so much to see in Iceland's north. In the West Fjords is one of the most beautiful places I've been. The east, it's all great. A lot of people hang out in the Golden Circle. They go see the geyser. They go see, Gullfoss and stuff like that. They go see the black sand beaches. Those are all amazing, but there's so much to see. So don't get kind of pigeonholed into this one spot. And that's where all the tourists are anyway. And once you get out of the tourist zones, you can finally start to talk with the locals, and they're a little bit more open. And my last thing I wanted to touch on is the locals. They are very friendly people, very helpful people. Everybody speaks English, so you don't really need to worry about it. They're not overly talkative, but they're not rude. You can see a difference in service when you go to a restaurant in America versus a restaurant in Iceland. One of the things I like about Iceland better is that when you're done with your food, you just go up and pay rather than waiting for them to come to your table, which is great, because I feel like that's always the worst time at an American restaurant, is waiting for them to come to your table. But when Icelanders go out and they start hitting the clubs and they get a few drinks in them, they are super friendly, super warm, open people, and you'll definitely make some new friends real quick that want to hang out again. So don't think that they're kind of these cold, stuck-up people. They're not. They're just a little more reserved than we are here, but they're also very genuine people, and they're very friendly people. So get out there, get out of Reykjavik, go have fun, meet the locals, hang out, have a great time. All right, that's my 5 tips. I hope that you got something out of that. If you have any other tips, leave them down in the comments. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be seeing you soon.